welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to another player performance review for the 2019-2020 season. This time we are going to be reviewing the performance in the 2019-20 season of Gylfi Sigurdsson. And, you know, I think we've got some very opinionated characters on the show, myself included. I think this one could get pretty ugly, let's be honest. I think I'll start with Terry on this one, and I'm not without good reason. Terry, what's your opinions on Gylfi Sigurdsson's season?
I think what we should do here is just cut to black like The Sopranos before it starts. I'm about to talk. Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, that's pretty much Sigurdsson's season, just nothing.
The man who redeemed Alex Nyarko, because I'm not being funny. This season, he has been the worst coward, fraud, shithouse who's ever wore the blue shirt. Like, Everton and Everton fans are not hard to please. We cheered like a goal went in when Phil Neville put a tasty tackle in on Cristiano Ronaldo. We sang Uma, 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 an absolute like comedy footballer in Umanias. We can forgive shite players. We've had to, frankly. We can get past players of limited ability. We cannot abide lazy, arrogant players. And there's never been, certainly in my lifetime, a more lazy, a more arrogant player than Gylfi Sigurdsson. Forget his price tag. He didn't pick that. It's just the evidence of what he does on the pitch or what he doesn't do. How many players does Sky Sports highlight not, pulling out of tackles? Gary Neville in the Tottenham game criticised Gylfi Sigurdsson for pulling out of a tackle, and it was highlighted in a replay. How often did you ever see that with any other players? That's how much of a problem it is that Sky Sports are picking up on it. Jamie Carragher, again, I said in the last video, same expression, verbally threw his hands in the air against Wolves when this player, who's meant to be our most creative player, our key attacking, creative outlet.
Linchpin, that's what he's supposed to be.
He just said, play the ball forward. He wouldn't play it forward. He doesn't want the ball. He doesn't want to play, frankly, I don't think. He literally, every time he gets the ball, he just picks the easy pass, like to his left or his right or backwards. That's when he gets the ball. Most of the time, he just points, he just talks to the centre-back and just says, give it to him because I don't want to know. And also gutless, like coward, fraud, shithouse. They're me three descriptors for him.
The magic words.
Yeah, honestly.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I've gone on record, I think, to say I think the era of real Everton incompetence started the day he was signed, and that's nothing to do with his ability or nothing, but it was when we signed him as the third number 10 for that stupid fee, and ever since it's been horrific. I mean, that might be harsh on Sigurdsson, by the way, because I mean, we're only focusing on his performances this season, but for me,
go on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, for me, when he signed in 2017 was when it all started to go horribly wrong, and the fact that he's so gutless sort of buys into that even more, I think.
Do you know, if it was just the formation or the fact that his legs have gone or whatever, or he didn't have the ability, it would be something. But we know from the previous 2 years, he's got ability. Think back to the Man United 4-0 win under Marco Silva. That was only the season before. But then you think this season, even when he was playing in the number 10 behind Calvert-Lewin, and he just stood there next to him, getting in his way and not contributing. We know this player's got ability. He's shown it for the last 2 years. All right, he did drift in and out of games even then, but he was an important player who got the goals.
No, he was a very gifted player, and still is, by the way. But
this season, he's just down tools. Him and we touched on in the Schneiderlin video. He's another one in the game against Liverpool at Anfield in the
FA Cup.
The FA Cup. Like just look at that for a player who doesn't want to know. The player who doesn't care about Everton, hasn't got a professional pride. He's getting absolutely made a show of by under 23 kids. Didn't make a single successful tackle in that game. I'm not, we know he's not a tackling type player, but come on, He should have been. He should have been in that game, and those Liverpool kids shouldn't have been able to get near him. This player, this international player who's, Everton's, key number 10, playing Everton's first team, like creative outlet. They should have been like, oh, we can't cope with Sigurdsson. He couldn't cope with them. He's just an absolute.
He's he's a stain on the club, to be honest, at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, Gylfi the Ghost. That's what people call him online. There's a reason for that. Absolute ghost.
And with that in mind, I'm going to point at Michael this time. I'm going to see what he said, what he has to say about Sigurdsson.
I mean, picking on what Terry said, if you go back to the previous season when he's knocking in 13 league goals, and you can sort of forgive him then because he's clearly got ability that of course he has, and you look at him this season, and like you say, we can argue formation changes, management changes, etc. But like you say, you can never ever forgive a player who backs out of not a challenges over a number of games. And it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. You're paying over £40 million for a player. He comes in, decent reputation. I've always thought with Sigurdsson that he's a little fish in a big pond at Everton. He was a little fish in a big pond at Tottenham, but he was a big fish in a little pond at Swansea, where he was the main man. All went through him. He looked fantastic, etc.
He was unbelievable for Reading, wasn't he, in the Championship? And
I mean, maybe potentially it's too difficult. The level and the expectation of a club, the stature of Everton. I don't know. I'm not inside his head, but to sort of see what he did from a goal point of view, 18-19 to then 19-20, when you're scoring 3 goals in all competitions with 3 assists. That's appalling, really, isn't it? There's a lot of players who've not performed in obviously the last season, but I think as much as the price tag wasn't his fault, I think when you do pay that kind of money for a player, I think that will always annoy fans more when you don't put a shift in. When you're paying that kind of money and you're not just running around and have a bit of effort, it does play into
I think it does, though, because you pay that kind of money for the player, you pay for the talent. But you're paying for someone you think will uphold a very high professional standard, and he's been anything but professional this season.
Yeah, and maybe as I say, because of the price tag, maybe we judge him more harshly. But I don't think we do from a personal point of view. I don't think we do. I think you've got to expect for that kind of money to have someone who not only has got very good technical ability and can unlock defences, etc., but someone who's a match winner, and he's anything but. Yeah. And I know he's played a bit deeper at times, but all these sideways passes, backwards passes, doesn't want the ball. He's a senior player. He's got to take responsibility.
Really, responsibility is the word for it, isn't it? Really, he just hides. He doesn't want to take control. He is that. I think I'll go back to Terry. What were your 3 magic words again, mate?
Oh, cowards, fraud, shithouse.
Perfect, mate. You've epitomised it brilliantly, haven't you? Let's be honest. It doesn't really get much better.
Woman, man, camera, something else.
Oh my God, yeah.
Woman, man, camera, Gylfi.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Do it and say all of those while pointing.
I think someone put on in the air. There was a photograph from when he came back to training yesterday and he was pointing. He was going past one of those mannequins, wasn't he, from the wall, saying about there's Gylfi with his movement coach or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just and that's what it's becoming. It's a shame because, as I say, he's got ability, but he just hasn't shown it.
Again, I think we've done the Jordan Pickford show just before this one, didn't we? And I think we're going to agree on the say he's another player with an absolutely wretched attitude, isn't he?
I mean, it appears to be on the pitch. He must kiss some great ass off the pitch to keep getting that armband. He must absolutely blind and cup of tea for someone, because I don't get why he keeps getting that armband. It doesn't translate on the pitch, put it that way.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the. I mean, Which we do our utmost, I think, as Everton fans with Ancelotti in charge, not to question Carlo at times, but you've got to question him giving him that armband.
This is like the new hipster thing for Evertonians, but I've read Carlo's book, and there's a whole segment on it about captains. That sort of does like play into it, that he doesn't see the captain like the English do. The Italians just see it as a senior player, so he's probably just being told, yeah, when Coleman's not playing, Sigurdsson and Dean are the captains, and he's probably just not questioned it. What he needs is
it's just a bit. I think it's a bit demoralising when you see Sigurdsson's our most senior player as opposed to maybe a Maldini.
Well, yeah, but he basically he needs leaders on the pitch. They don't need to have armbands. He's probably just like not even questioned who gets the armband as long as he's got leaders elsewhere. But Jesus, I can't see it lasting much longer because he's dizzy. I mean, let's be honest, Carlo Ancelotti's not the least bit asked what Everton Twitter thinks, but he's not stupid. He must know that this lad just doesn't want to know. I can't keep giving him an armband.
Well, I think the only armband Gylfi Sigurdsson deserves is a pair of floaties for going in the water, because he's sinking as a player, isn't he?
Oh, you are made up. You got to say that.
I am made up. I got to say that.
I could hear the excitement in your voice as you were leading into that. You're like, yes.
Yes, he set me up perfectly there, and I still made it sound horrific. But yeah, well, Mike, what would you think? What does the future hold now for Gylfi Sigurdsson? Then can we get rid of him?
Yeah, hopefully a transfer. Hopefully. I mean, it's going to be a massive loss, isn't it, in terms of monetary terms? You're not going to recoup anywhere.
I was hoping we'd make a profit, to be honest.
Yeah, in his own head maybe. But no, I think I've got a feeling potentially Leeds might come in for him. We've got a little niggling suspicion Leeds could be in for him. Might even drop back down to the Championship and go back to Swansea maybe. But one thing's for sure, we'll be getting big bucks for him. But he's got to. I think we're talking about players coming in now, the likes of Allen and Decore and people like that who've been mentioned. There's no place for a Gylfi Sigurdsson in the centre mid. You'll be keeping your Andre Gomez, and obviously Caballan will be there. Rumours that Tom Davies is going to go as well. There's definitely no place for Gylfi Sigurdsson. And if he's still there on, say, the 6th of October, I'll be very, very surprised.
I mean, to be fair, I think I'd happily pay them some dough to take him at this stage. I think, again, we accepted a large loss on Schneiderlin, but I think we need to accept the same here for Sigurdsson, don't we? Because it's about getting the poison out of the club.
I don't think we'll be able to sell Sigurdsson personally, just because of the money he's on and the high profile, poor games he's had. I know Schneiderlin had just as many, but Sigurdsson, I mean, I don't know about Leeds. He disintegrates with one game of playing their style. He looks lazy in a non-hard working team apart from our front two. So it Leeds, where they all run their asses off, he'd just like absolutely melt. What he'd be good at is
pointing.
Yeah, I think he'd actually be better if he went to like a Crystal Palace, where their team is full of grafters, but they need someone who can just put it on the head of a target man who's not scoring. So him and Benteke, if worked together as like a front two, would be ideal. I think they'd just get that Swansea thing going, like Sigurdsson and Llorente. But any team that like can't carry him, like hasn't got the quality to carry him, then like we haven't, they're not going to know. They're not going to want to know. Italy might suit him because it's a lot slower and he won't look as slow. But I can't see many Italian teams, coming in for him. But I think Italy would be a good move for him.
I think in a nutshell, what we're basically saying to Sigurdsson here is move.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't get a game from Marine, if you're asking me, but whatever.
Never mind. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. I think that's enough Sigurdsson bashing for today. I think I might be asking a pretty stupid question here, but scores out of 10. Mike?
I'll put him up there with Jordan Pickford and give him a 2.
2. Terry?
0.
0 out of 10. I was very intrigued to see what Terry was going to say.
I gave Schneiderlin a 1. I gave Pickford a 2, and Soft bollocks is getting it to 0 because there has been no redeeming match or quality for him this year. I'm not counting the Chelsea home match where he wasn't as bad, because that was just Duncan Ferguson putting the fear of God into him. Every other game, it's been awful. 0. If I could go into minus numbers, I would.
There you go. Something tells me I think that you don't really rate Sigurdsson's performance this season, Terry.
Oh.
Nah, well, I think it's pretty unanimous because I'm going right down the middle of you two and give him a 1 out of 10. That's generous. I think Terry's probably being harsh, but is it possible to give it like half out of 10 or something? It's literally.
That is, you've been getting some Sigurdsson freebies. You won't criticise him.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, literally, I'm in Sigurdsson's pocket. I'm in the club's pocket. I'm just gonna.
You're that Icelandic stato, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm getting. No, he's the one ploughing me with all the freebies. He's giving me backhands to say nice things about Sigurdsson on fan channels. No, honest to God though, you can't I couldn't possibly. I think Michael, you were very generous with you too.
I've got
season.
Yeah, I don't think he's been any worse than Jordan Pickford, and Jordan Pickford's been bad. So I'm gonna sort of, for the sake of being fair, I've got to go for a 2 for the fact that he actually scored a penalty, which was a miracle in itself. So that's probably worth 2 out of 10.
That is, and to be fair, I gave Pickford the 1, so I'll give Sigurdsson a 1, and Sigurdsson gets the 1 for that 1 goal he scored against West Ham, where he left Declan Rice on his arse. I think that's all he deserves plaudits for all season.
Jack Wilshere as well, when he sent him the shops. But
he sent him the shop as well, yeah.
Sure, I could send Jack Wilshere the shop at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Another scathing assessment of an Everton player's season, probably not more so than Gylfi Sigurdsson this season. He's probably been the epitome of our stinker of a campaign, and it's no surprise to see such bad scores given out here. Let us know your scores anyway. Give us a comment below. Let us know what you think we should do with Sigurdsson. What can we do with Sigurdsson? Let us know. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content. And thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.